Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Cultivate Her podcast. It's your girl, Christina.
And it's your girl, Jenny Boo.
And you are listening to Cultivate
Her.
Her. Yes. Welcome.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes. Welcome to the room where you are cultivated and pushed to tap into your purpose. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit it right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, show us some love. And if you are not, let us bless your life by allowing you to follow the Cultivate Her podcast on Instagram. That is the Cultivate Her podcast on Instagram, okay? Follow us. We want some love. Show us some love. Let us know. Do you like the topics? What are we talking about? What should we talk about? All right? We need to know. Jen and I are like excited to talk about anything. Like, you name it, we're open to it, okay? We hope that y'all been good and taking care of yourselves and making sure that you are checking in with yourself. Checking in looks like self-care. What is self-care? That is loving on you, girl. Have you been loving on yourself? Have you been having some me time? Have you been resting? Have you been pampering yourself? Maybe a massage, a quick journal moment where you need to clear your mind, some thoughts, some meditation. I just need to know what y'all been doing. Your girl have been doing a lot of scheduling. I know that doesn't sound like self-care, but I've been writing down what I need to do on a daily basis, making sure that I am having healthy habits, structuring out my day. I don't know about you, Jen, but since both of us have been home, this quarantine life is crazy. We've both been home. Have you been handling out your days? Because I feel like if I'm not structuring out my days, I cannot be my best self. I can't utilize my days. What about you?
I could totally see why you would need to schedule out your days, because it's very easy to just get lost in a Netflix series all day in your bed if you don't.
Yeah.
So I could totally relate. But for me, I need to schedule because honestly, I haven't come up with a good schedule time for me to be productive and still squeeze in other things that I want to do. But right now, all I do is I just go with the day. I know there's so many different things that I need to get done, and it changes throughout the day. So one important thing that I try to, I fell back a little bit because I got distracted with life and everything going on. But as of recently, I got back on track with waking up early and doing things that I enjoy, which is painting. So, I try to make sure I start doing things that I enjoy doing first. So that way that gives me, the little bit of motivation that I need to move forward with the day, giving yourself that time. And that also is a good time for me for meditation. So I get a 2-for-1. So that's important, just to have an idea about what you want to do for the day, and just aligning your day to make it work in that manner is just important, whether you have it written down on the calendar or have an idea in your head. So I think it's important to just know what you need to get done and get it done.
Yes, girl. I like that because I think that we definitely need to. You highlighted something for me, and that's going back to the things that you enjoy. And I had to learn that during this free time that I've had. And let me not say free time because I've been utilizing my time doing a lot of different things. But I realized that I cannot do everything. Everything can't be work, right? But there's always this pressure of feeling like, oh, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're wasting time, right? But I had to actually figure out how to schedule me time, how to schedule the things that I enjoy, I'm not saying to be this crazy person and schedule every single thing, right? But in order for me to be my best self, right, I needed to schedule out things so that I know that things were getting done, that I was having functioning days where I function normal, that everything was playing out the way it needed to be. Not everything did not happen on the schedule, but at least something got done, right? Mm-hmm. And girl, I would schedule out bath time. All right, I'm serious. I scheduled out bath time. You're going to have bath time tonight, and you're going to get in the bathroom. You're going to light candles. You're going to, lay in the tub for a little bit with some Epsom salt and relax and get out and rub yourself down with some coconut oil. And no, I'm serious. I'm serious. I had to really tell myself, this is what you're going to do. Okay. Bath time means this. And then go relax in your bed. Girl, I don't know about you, but lately I've been needing a sense of peace. Like where I just want to turn everything off and just be in silence. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I was like, girl, you moving too fast. You out here pressuring yourself to do everything and make sure the business is going and all this stuff, but I was starting to feel this crazy pressure of getting it together. Christina, please get it together. Do not waste this time that you have, you know? And I had to slow it down and start scheduling. I'm like, girl, okay, you want things to get done? Schedule it. You want to be your best self? If y'all don't know, the topic today is how to be your best self. You want to be your best self? How about you write it down? Write
Yes.
down what it is that you want to do and make sure that you are actually completing those goals, right? If you don't write it, it don't get done. It's that simple.
Yeah, because you could forget, get sidetracked. So it is important because that's the
Hmm.
way to keep yourself accountable. You'll go back and look at the list and see what you need to get done. And hopefully it'll motivate you. So
Yeah,
that is important.
I agree. Hopefully, it does motivate you. Now, in the process of you trying to get your ish together, right? Because I do believe that being your best self is getting your shit together. Okay. I don't want to hear it. No excuses or of who is doing this or who's doing what. Get yourself together. Don't worry about other people, right?
Mm.
Set your goals and stay in your lane. Okay. Let's be real. We love being in other people's lanes and comparing ourselves to other people. Uh-uh.
Or talking about other people,
Yeah.
that's not going to get you on the path to being your best self. Downgrading somebody else or
Yep.
discouraging somebody else. Focus on
Mm-hmm.
yourself and what makes you happy, and then you'll be a happier person. And you don't need to put someone else down in order for you to feel better about yourself. All right. To be your best self, you need to focus on yourself, work on yourself, do what you need to do for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then motivate others to see what that is like so that way we
Right.
can all be in that space. You don't want to be get to that level where you're at your best self and you feel like, you're above anyone else or you're higher than thou. But we all have trials and tribulation and struggles that we go through. We need to just encourage each other to get to that point of self-love so that way we can be in a better space mentally, emotionally, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Jen. If you want to be your best self, sis, you have to figure out what you want for you. You have to. If you don't know what you want for you, then you're just wasting your time going day by day, not figuring out what it is that you want. And it just seemed empty, right? I think that's why most people feel empty or lost, or I don't even want to say that, but it's the truth, suicidal.
Because then
Because,
you lose your sense of purpose, and I
yeah.
feel like that's what the goal is, right? We want to know that we have a purpose in life, and when you write down what your goals are, what your things that you need to get done, you write down your calendar, your schedule. You have a sense of purpose. You know what has to get done. You know what you need to do to get to that point, or you have your level of success where you want to reach. You just move up the totem pole to get to that point. But if you don't, then how will you know what it is that you're reaching for? You'll just be idle,
Hmm.
idle
Yeah.
and stuck. I've been
Yes.
there. I know how it is.
Oh, listen, I've been there too. Stuck is not the word. I've been there. And when I've been in that place, I was depressed.
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie. I was depressed. I didn't feel like I was part of this world or part of anything. I was lost. I felt disassociated. If y'all don't know, I'm giving y'all psych terms. Okay.
hmm
Disassociated from the world. Okay. And everything and everyone around me. And I felt like no one could understand what I'm feeling. And I felt like no one would get it. No one would get it. It's like, you ever seen those movies where, like, I don't know, you come out of your body
Like an
and
outer body experience.
yes, that's what disassociation looks like.
Mm.
Because you're watching yourself live
You're
your
like
life.
you're disconnected from yourself.
Yes. Yes. And that's crazy. And could you believe people go years like that?
Girl, I've been there for years, and I was in a very bad space. I talked about, before on previous episodes of the podcast about a relationship that I was dealing with where I was in a very
Hmm.
bad negative space, right? So, I couldn't grasp why I was in that space. I was in that moment, like I was living in that space where it didn't feel like it was my life. You know what I mean? Like I was living it and I was there, but I didn't really feel like I had I didn't come to grips that it was mine, and I had the control over it. Once you realize your power and that you have the control over your life to be able to live the life that you want. Of course, we don't know what our life is going to be like, but you have the control to direct where it's going to go with the decisions that we make, the people that we surround ourselves with, the effort that we put into the things that we want and need, you know. That's really where you start to focus your energy on. And I had a completely different change of my whole life change because my
Mm,
perspective changed from that point, right? Because I'm no longer holding on to the burden of, you know, not understanding certain things or not being
mm.
healed from certain things, right? So I'm able
Wow.
to just see myself in a different light,
Hmm.
and now truly live my best self, even though I'm still growing and learning. Just looking back to the space that I was and just, you know, not really feeling like that was my life. It really was. And I can understand how easy it can be to get to that place because, we go through highs and lows in life in general, but just knowing that it's just a temporary situation that we go through and that
Hmm.
everybody has struggles that we have to,
Hmm.
we all embark upon different journeys, and we just need to embrace it and take a hold of it and just move forward with our lives and just, and grow. Like that's the most
Right,
important
right.
thing.
I agree. I know for a fact that you cannot grow, and I posted this recently on my personal page, Robin Paris MUA. If you want to follow, follow. Okay, and make sure you follow Boo Brands too, because she be fronting, but she posts good gems all the time,
Thank you.
all the time. She been sleeping on social media lately, but you need to get back on there. She shares good gems, and recently, I posted. Um, and I'm gonna make sure I link our personal pages. We never do actually. We only post Woe's pages, but we are brands and we are branding ourselves. So please follow and definitely, because this girl be posting some things that I tell her she needs to get herself more out there. Not to
Yeah.
go off topic, but you definitely need to speak more because the things that you say, girl, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you my friend for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. The things that you say, I call you and you lift me out of something that I was like, wow, I didn't even know, you
Yeah.
know? But I just want to go back because you talked about not being able to move forward. And I feel like a lot of times we are caught up in this place where we are stuck. And the reason why we feel like, and I was there, girl, I was there a year ago where I felt stuck and like I couldn't move. And the reason why, and the crazy thing is, you're never stuck. It's all an illusion. You are not
Mental.
stuck.
It's all
Yeah,
mental.
yeah. It is mental. You're here saying you're stuck, but you cannot move forward unless you get out of that mentality of stuckness. And that's not a word, but is it a word? Is it a word, Jen?
Stuckness? I don't think so.
No. Okay. I be asking Jen because I be saying words that don't make no sense. But you know, when you get out of that mentality of being stuck, then you will be able to move forward. But you cannot move forward if you are still in the same place, reflecting on the past, reflecting on your pain, reflecting on whatever it is. You cannot move forward, right?
That
But
is
Jen,
true.
I want to go back because you said something about realizing your power, right? And I wanted to know what exactly was that power that you realized that took you out of that place? What did you do? What was it?
Just knowing that I had control over me, like how I feel, how I think, sometimes you don't realize when you're so consumed with negativity or anger or
Mhm.
frustration or burden, and you just like, I just felt like I had a cloud hanging over me,
Mm.
right? And I just don't feel like I really knew how to get past that cloud, right? Or get away from it. Everywhere I went, I was just, it was just there. So just being able to heal and
Mhm.
address the elephant in the room of my life,
Mhm.
um, and be able to just be open about it to people that would, that I could trust and to talk about my personal things. But just being able to share certain things or just being able to come to realization with certain things, I was able to heal really,
Right.
like truly,
Mhm.
and just understand, my triggers and what what,
Ooh.
my highlights are and what, my downs are. Like, you just got
Mm-hmm.
to really go through that self journey to get through, to find your best selves. And it does take going through the dark times to see what you're really made of, because otherwise,
Yeah.
if you're living a privileged life, how are you going to know what struggle is like? How are you going to
Yep.
learn to appreciate a dollar if you don't work for it? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So with me having gone through that experience, and just being in such a dark place, I'll explain how I was to people that I've met now, and they're like, I can't see that. Like, they're like, you're so
Right.
positive, you're so nice, you're so this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look, I was a hot mess back then. Like, if you would
Okay,
have asked
now.
me about me like 5 years ago, like, I was just, I'm
Uh,
still the same person, but my mentality, my perspective on life was way different.
mm-hmm.
And now that I'm older, more mature, and have much more experiences under my belt, I'm able to just embrace everything that I've been through, everything that I'm going through, the people that are around me, and just
Mm-hmm.
take life for what it is, instead of, creating this idea of, that I make up in my head. Because, life really, sometimes we can tell ourselves things are worse than what it really is. And
Girl.
we're the ones that play that out. Right. So in my head, I was telling myself
Mm-hmm.
one thing, when really I opened my eyes and embraced all the other things around me. And I'm like, okay, you know, this is not that bad. But it all took a change of perspective. Once you're able to take a step back and really see the full picture, you have a whole different perspective. And from then, I have been able to just like see things differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. I love the idea because it gives you it gives you, it's like you're seeing yourself through a whole nother lens.
Oh,
Right.
yes, exactly.
It's so deep because man, I'm not living in a place of regret, Jen, but I'm always like, man, if I could go back, if I had the eyes that I have now,
Yeah.
if I could go back, your girl would handle things differently, you
Talk
know?
about it. But if we had made the a different decision, would we be the same
Right.
person that we are today? Right?
Yeah,
Like I
no.
said, we wouldn't be the
Mhm.
same person. We wouldn't know
Yeah,
not to touch the stove if we didn't touch it. Like,
right.
we need to
Mhm.
learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll probably be repeating the same ones.
And that's where we have to go into the place of that our brokenness is not what makes us stuck. Our
Hmm.
brokenness is our power. The moment we take
Yeah.
our brokenness, and oh my gosh, I just spoke about this recently. The moment we take our brokenness and trade it in for our power, we become our best selves.
Hmm.
We really do.
Yeah.
Because I see it strengthening us. Jen, you and I have been through some serious things in life that, wow, when I think about it, I'm like, girl, did we really? We came out of that. We triumphed. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And not even just within ourselves, our family members, our friends who have been through some of the craziest things. I'm like, dang, look at you being your best friend, your best self, sis. Look at you getting through this hard time. Like, how
Yeah.
crazy is that? You know, you got through it and you now, like Jen said, she's like, yo, 5 years ago, nah, I was not that person.
Mm-mm.
You're saying I was this nice person. I'm this nice person. I'm this and that. No, I was not that. And it's true. I've been in the same place. I can totally relate to that. 5 years ago, shoot, not even five, maybe two.
She said too. Oh, stop.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. 2 years. My 2 years, 2 years ago, 2 years ago growth
Yeah.
is so different from the 2 years before that. So I
Yeah.
can't even
Yeah.
say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Cause there's some shit I'm telling y'all I would not tolerate.
Yeah.
Like I'm a no, I tolerate no bullshit type of person, right? But I'm telling you that I know for a fact that I've changed because I see things in a way. I know for a fact that I'm my best self, sis, because I see things through a different lens where I'm more grateful.
Hmm.
um I'm more accepting of gray areas. Before, I was never accepting of a gray area. And that's because I'm a no nonsense type of person where grays were an issue. I'm like, just get your shit together. Period. I don't want to hear it. Somebody come to me about certain things. I'm like, well, if you were able to just get your shit together like you were supposed to, then you wouldn't. But I realized you can't approach people like that
Mm-hmm.
because it's not black and white all the time. There's gray.
Right.
Right. And even when I look back on my own life, I'm like, girl, you see how many times you've messed up and you've been in this whirl round twirl tornado around crazy, you know? And I'm like, girl, there's mad gray. There's gray all over.
Mm-hmm.
So while the gray is in my life, I've learned to now say, hey, Christina, you're more of an adult. You can see that people go through things a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And when they go through it, you need to be that person to understand, hey, there's gray. Let me have some sympathy, empathy.
Empathy, yes. That's what we lack these days, for sure.
Yes. Yes, we do. Because we're so harsh. Now, let me be clear, Jen. If you out here messing up constantly and I can't pat your back no more, I'm gonna have to give you some tough love as a friend.
Yeah. I
You
totally get
understand?
it. Yeah.
But I'm still gonna be this person that's, empathetic, but I'm gonna have to give you some tough love. I can't pat you on the back. Get your shit
Yeah.
together. Period.
Yeah. It needs to be a good balance because you don't want to be enabling a friend to be stuck in a situation where you know they're able incapable of getting
Mm-hmm.
themselves out of, but then you also don't want to make your friend feel like you're putting them down as well. So like you said
Mm-hmm.
earlier, like it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. Like, talk to me nice, that's all. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
can tell me to get my ass up, but don't try to come for me. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
there's a way you could talk to people in a manner, what like the guy coming up to you telling you what he said. There's a way you
Girl.
can talk to people and
Mm-hmm.
not be offensive, but some people
Mm-hmm.
they just don't have enough sense to know, a filter when they need one.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
know,
that person. I'm that person that doesn't understand filters. Real facts.
it happens. Me too
Yeah.
sometimes, but
Mhm.
you
But we
know,
know each other, so we can handle each other's shit. And
yeah.
at the same time, we expect people to handle our shit the way people. Because I for a long time I kept saying, listen, I ain't gonna lie, being here in Florida is a change for me because the people in Florida are so sensitive to
Mm,
me. I'm like New York niggas. If you be like, yo, you tripping or something like that, but because the dialogue is always different, they take it a certain type of way.
mm-hmm.
But I had to realize, like, yo, maybe you do sound super aggressive. You know, like maybe you need if people in Florida keep saying like, yo, your voice is it's a little strong. You need to soften up. So I try to soften up now. If you
Yeah.
hear it a certain amount of times. So we need to be real about self-reflection.
Yeah.
If we really want to get into it, self-reflection, reflection on yourself, self-discovery. Self-discovery never stops.
Mm,
It never stops. You're constantly reflecting on yourself, trying to figure out who you are. Because if let's be real, we change every day.
and
I
we're
don't care what
growing.
nobody
We're
say.
growing every day. So
Exactly.
we're going to continue
Exactly.
to change. So there's always things that we can learn about
Yeah.
ourselves.
The biggest part to life is growth. If we want to be real, I always talk about relationships, and I always tell people my relationship is not perfect. I love my husband to death, right? It's not perfect. But one thing I know is that it's not love that got us where we are, it's growth that got us where we are.
Hmm.
Growth. If it wasn't for us growing as two individuals and wanting to grow together, we would not be where we are.
Hmm.
Yes, I love you to death, but I always say love does not hold people because people who are in love divorce all the time and say they can't do it. But if
Hmm.
you're willing to grow with me, that's a whole nother thing,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So also, just moving on from that, I wanted to really talk about if you want to be your best self, sis, if you want to be your best friend, why I keep saying best friend? Because you're my best friend?
Probably.
Best friend.
Best
Shoot.
friend.
Okay. If you want to be your best self, sis, okay, you have to be able to draw out your strengths. Real facts. Draw out your strengths and know what those strengths are and utilize them.
Yes.
I think that's what drives you into purpose,
Hmm.
right? Is opening back up into that the passion. What makes you strong?
Yeah.
What are your strengths? Am I a great writer? Am I great at serving? Am I great at cooking? You get what I'm saying? And find
Okay.
out where. You get what I'm saying?
That is so true because especially in the time where coronavirus hit, a lot of people had to
Mhm.
take that time to really reflect on themselves and go back to those things. And you realize a lot of people were doing things that they had never done, maybe in a long time or trying things for the first time. But that's definitely something that I can totally relate with, even with my painting. So yeah,
Ooh,
you were right on the
yes.
money with that, girl.
Hmm. And since you mentioned the painting, where did you get the joy out of that? How did it
Honestly,
make you become a better you?
it's a sense of meditation, like I mentioned earlier. It kind of just my mind is able to just be wiped clean. There's no stress, no worries. I put on some calm music so that way, I'm not sitting in complete silence, but it's just therapeutic. It's just a way
Mhm.
for me to just be in a different space without just being idle. I'm not just existing, I'm here creating. And that's a beautiful thing because by the end of that meditation moment, I have a beautiful piece that I can look back on, and really
Mhm.
embrace. So that's something
Yeah.
that really it helped me a lot to really work on my patience,
Mhm.
work on meditation is something that I have never been really good on, but it helps me meditate because it brings me to that space without just sitting there with my hands folded,
Mhm.
because that could be like, I don't know, too much sometimes, too hard for me to focus. But just to find
Yeah.
other things to do to put me in that same kind of space,
Mhm.
it's definitely helpful. So just being in that creative atmosphere, it's just calming.
I love it. I love that you took yourself into a creative space where you're like, listen, this is what's going to make me a stronger person. And you actually took it way into your creative side because now you're selling your paintings. They're
Mhm.
beautiful, by the way. I have
Thank
not gotten
you.
mine yet. And that's not because I don't want one, is that I'm not in New York to go buy one.
You want
But
you
it's gonna
you
happen.
trust
And
me.
I
You
don't want
want
no
to
little
wait.
canvas. I'm coming with my big canvas. I want a big one to hang up in
Trust
my
me.
house.
You want to wait for this new round that I'm doing, girl. Girl,
Really?
I did some new paintings, and it's a different style that I'm doing. Like this is one that
Okay.
I have back here,
I love
that
it.
blue one.
If y'all can't see it, okay, for the people who are listening, it's blue, it's beautiful. And listen, how real quick, because I need you to plug yourself in.
Yeah,
Okay, plug in your strength, boo.
yeah.
Okay. Plug yourself in. If people want to order or anything like that, or find you, follow you, all of that, plug yourself in real quick.
Yeah, so if you want to go to my website, you can go to boo-brands.online. You can go there to purchase some of my pieces. You could also book me for modeling gigs. And you can visit my Instagram, which is boo, BEAUUU, so three U's, Boo Brands with three S's on Instagram. And you can hit me in my DMs if you want to get any pictures or any postings. I mean, any paintings, or if you want
Paintings.
to book
Mhm.
me for any modeling gigs, I do collab. So if anyone is interested, hit me up.
Yeah. And just to let you know, are you shipping if someone wants to order
Yeah.
from you? Okay, but you got to pay for y'all shipping though, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to my website and you order it from the website, the shipping will
Mhm.
be included. I think it's about $7 flat rate
See, that's
fee. It's not
nothing.
bad.
That's nothing. I want a big old canvas, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to order. I'm ready to, but I'm gonna travel to New York to get mine.
Yeah.
Just take it back home with me
Mm.
when we're going. But listen, I love it. I love it. That's coming out of our place of comfort. I always talk about coming out of this place of comfort and being able to just say, hey. I want to love on me. I want to be a better me. And in the process of being a better me, I'm going to focus on me. And that's what Jen was doing. And that threw her into a creative space. You didn't even expect that.
No,
Real
not at
facts.
all.
So it just
Yeah.
shoved you into that place like, yo, people see your paintings, they feeling it. And now you're like, yo, I could sell this. So that's how you know that things that are destined for you will automatically write itself into your life because you were right there. You were following that flow. That's where you were supposed to be
Yeah. A
because
lot
you
of
were
times
being
in
your
those
true self.
situations, a lot of times when we in the situation like this, we usually already have talents, the natural talents
Mm-hmm.
that we are given. Everybody has them. But sometimes we get so distracted with life, responsibilities, maybe children, that we put our own things on the back burner. So we don't really put as much time and energy in like we should. But with this quarantine, everybody was forced with nothing but time and opportunity to just
Yep.
get to know themselves at home.
Yeah.
So with just that space allowing us to be able to get to know ourselves. I really tried to take the opportunity to get to know myself in more than one way. I did yoga, I did workouts, like,
Mm-hmm.
working on different avenues just to be able to be creative, keep myself working and active. But that's also how you discover your best self, right? You want to
Ooh.
try to do different things to see, maybe this is for me, maybe it's not. I feel like in
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
process of finding your best self, it's important for you to see who you're not, right? You need to
Mm.
be able to go out
Yes.
there and try different things so that way when, if someone has an idea about who you are, you can either correct it or reflect it, right? If that's
Ooh.
if that's how
Let me
you
write that
are.
down.
Seriously, like, because no matter where you go, people will have an opinion of you, whether you like it or not. So if you're being reflected in the way that you are,
Mm-hmm.
then you would just continue and be such. But if you're not, if people have a wrong perspective of you, you need to correct it, maybe address it, maybe address how you present yourself to people.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to really focus in on ourselves and how we present ourselves, make sure we're doing it the right way.
Yes. I love that. That was well, beautifully said. I have nothing to add. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Correct it or reflect it. All right. I wrote it down and I couldn't help myself because that was good. That was a good
Yeah.
gem. That was a good gem. So, what's your takeaway, girl?
My takeaway is, in order for you to be your best self, you just need to know what it means to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know
Mm-hmm.
who you are in order for you to be that, you know.
Mm-hmm. My takeaway is in order for you to be your best, I want to say friend again. I don't know why.
Best self.
Maybe because you need to be your best friend, sis.
You're
Shoot, be
right.
your own best friend. How about
Yep,
that?
that's true.
Real facts. Learn how to love you. Okay, not to go off topic, but I desperately want to go on a selfcation just by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, turn my phone off. Of course, I'm gonna take pictures because I gotta take my pictures. But I mean, like, no social media, nothing, just out somewhere, just enjoying me time.
Yep, no distractions. That's how it
Nothing.
should be. It's necessary. We need to disconnect seriously every
Yeah.
once in a while.
And I mean, girl, because I'm trying so hard to build my brand on
Yeah.
social media has taken such a toll on me mentally. That's why I'm telling you that I've been in a place where I need to shut everything off
Mm-hmm.
because social media does that to me. It does
That's
that.
why, girl, that's why I take a step back every now and then because it's overwhelming, but
Mm-hmm.
in a good way. If you utilize social media in a positive way, it could be very
Mm-hmm.
beneficial, but it also can be a distraction. It could be overwhelming. It could be a lot of things. It causes anxiety. Like, it's
Yes.
everything. It's moderation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to use anything, it's
Yep.
all in the moderation.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I said, it's very normal for me to take a step back if I feel overwhelmed by the things that I'm seeing on social media because it is a lot.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm I'm taking a, I've been scheduling out my posts so that I'm trying to find a very um efficient way to schedule my post out so that I don't have to be on there that much. And it's crazy because in the process of you being on there, you still want to love on other people's businesses, like their stuff, share it, and all that stuff. But it's hard for me because I'm like, yo, I need to take a step away because it's
Yeah.
consuming me. I don't know. I don't like the fact that I'm on there scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. It's just too much. But anyways, let me go back. My takeaway is that you need to take time to discover your strengths.
Mm.
Yeah. You take time to discover your strengths, you will fully tap into your purpose. I really believe that.
Yeah.
The strengths, I think that once you figure out your strengths, automatically, you don't have to be in a place of like, oh, what do I want to do? Or do I want to do this? Or should I? It's like, it will automatically just happen.
Right.
Because really, purpose and alignment comes with your life. Like life and purpose are aligned,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you are pulling out your strengths and knowing what your strengths are, whatever it is, if you're good at cooking and you want to cook food for the homeless, or you want to start a restaurant business, or you want to start a food truck, right? I don't know why I keep going to food. I think I'm hungry,
I'm
but
hungry too, girl.
I'm hungry. But if you want to do these things, you know, pull out your strengths. You want to be your best self. That was my takeaway. You want to be your best self. Discover your strengths. And if you think you have discovered your strengths, because let's be real, strengths change.
Mm-hmm.
You can add on strengths. It's not like you have the same strength all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Rediscover those strengths and then keep it pushing. Okay? Listen, if you haven't, please subscribe to the Cultivate Her podcast. All right. It is the Cultivate Her podcast on Instagram. You can also follow Women of Empowerment because this podcast is brought to you by Women of Empowerment. That is Woe Inc. WOEINC on Instagram. Okay. Instagram and Facebook. We're on every platform. What's up? Hit that follow. What you waiting on? I'm waiting on you, sis. I'm waiting on you. It was awesome talking to you, beautiful little. Well, y'all ain't little. I ain't calling nobody little. It was awesome talking to y'all grown folks, okay?
Grown.
Yeah, y'all grown. Y'all grown folks. It was awesome talking to y'all. I appreciate every single one of you. Jen and I love y'all with 2 pieces. Please continue to listen and follow and subscribe and just love on us. And send us your purpose chaser letters, okay? We want to see them. Tell us, what is it that you want to tap into? Do you have a question for us? What a topic for us? Anything that you need us to talk about, we're ready for it. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that follow button and like and comment. See you guys next week. Deuces.